Welcome to Awards for Young Musicians Autumn Fundraising Concert. I'm Zeb Soanes, I'm one of AYM's patrons, and I'll be leading you through tonight's concert. Now, usually we'd be holding this in rather more glamorous surroundings, but I've brought you here into the garden because, quite frankly, there are too many of you to safely hold this indoors. So thank you very much for sparing the time to join me online. We're delighted that so many of our wonderful regular supporters are able to join us. And if you're new to AYM, as we're often called, I hope this will inspire you to get involved. If you'd like to chat to us during tonight's show, please join us on Twitter using the hashtag #GivingTalentAChance. Musical talent is everywhere, but more than ever, opportunity isn't. Family finances and other obstacles often get in the way. AYM exists to change that, and we'll be showing you how throughout the course of tonight's event. It's been a strange year for all of us, but I hope tonight's event will bring some much needed musical joy. Now, we may not be able to physically travel very far at the moment, but that doesn't stop us taking you on a musical journey. We'll be going to Manchester, Exeter, Hertfordshire, Kent and London, and hearing music from North America, France, Russia and more, along with interviews and short films, which will make for a very packed evening's entertainment. But I think we should get right on with some music. First, we're off to Manchester to meet pianists and siblings Ellie and Lewis Tang. And some of you may recognise one of the pieces they will play from your own childhoods.
Hi, I'm Ellie, and I'm going to be playing this toccata by Benjamin Lees. I really like this piece because it's so energetic and also quite humorous.
Hi, my name is Lewis. So today we are going to be performing The Search from Dolly Suite by Faure. I really like this piece because it is very lyrical.
At AYM, we give talent a chance. We support individual young musicians from low-income families with funding and other help. We also support music education through training, advocacy and research, ensuring young musicians' potential is better spotted in the first place and progressed, making a real impact. Our work spans all musical genres, and our programmes are targeted to help young musicians from across the UK to grow, flourish and fulfil their musical potential. To find out more, just visit our website via the link in the YouTube description box just under this window. Ellie Lewis and all the young musicians you'll hear tonight are supported by our awards programme. This year saw more applications than ever before, with nearly 400 eligible young people applying for help with their music costs. And thanks to the fantastic support from our donors and funders, we were able to make awards to nearly 200 young musicians. But with more funds, we could do so much more. Hester Cockcroft, AYM's Chief Executive, will be joining us a bit later to tell you how you can support this remarkable charity. But enough chat, more music. The next stop on our musical journey is the Royal College of Music in London to hear AYM alumnus and BBC Young Musician 2020 percussion finalist Isaac Harari. He's performing his own composition, Lydian Temple. Isaac Harari. We're working with our alumni, like Isaac, more and more. Former award winners now mentor young musicians, both through our Talent to Talent and Furthering Talent programmes. Being able to talk to someone near to them in age and experience about their music making and about their choices really empowers many young people. We've also recently appointed 2 alumni to our Board of Trustees, Caius Lee and Mahalia Edwards, and it's great to have their young insight and experience to help shape our future. Last week, I met up for a walk with someone who's been an AYM award winner, a mentor, and a BBC Young Musicians finalist, like Isaac. She's now a fellow AYM patron, the fantastic saxophonist, Jess Gillam.
It's called Rose.
Rosa, where did they get her from?
She's a rescue. Thank you.
Jess, thank you so much for joining me for this patron-to-patron chat. I'm very pleased that AYM got the memo that only red-headed people should be patrons of AYM. So I couldn't be more delighted to have you on board. AYM supported you throughout your studies at the Royal Northern College of Music. How else did they help you through those early years of your studies?
Well, they helped with the finances for the tuition, but for me the most valuable thing was having the opportunity to meet young musicians, to have performance opportunities, and to be able to go to rehearsals and concerts and be immersed in the musical world rather than just giving the support and then kind of leaving you to it. They really helped on my journey and progression.
How important was it for you to actually get out in front of a live audience?
I would say it was actually vital to my development to have different experiences performing in different settings. For me, music is about people, so being in front of an audience and playing to people was what I lived for. And with AYM, you could be performing in a house, you could be performing in a concert hall, and I got to have so many different opportunities, and you kind of build up a library of experiences that have helped me to this day, right, in different performance settings.
And there's a certain amount of pressure performing live, isn't there? But AYM gives you that pressure in a very gentle way.
I think part of that pressure or inspiration comes from seeing the other young people perform. So for me, I would be in a concert with 5 other people and I would be watching them thinking, I want to be able to do that. I want to know what piece they're playing, to talk to them about how they've practiced that, and having those conversations with other like-minded young people was really valuable.
And through AYM, you get to receive mentorship and give tuition to people who are less experienced than you.
So I was a mentor on the Talent to Talent scheme for AYM, which was a kind of tiered system where alumni would become mentors, and then you would mentor a younger or less experienced musician. And then you would receive coaching for that at specific days that AYM put on. So I had the experience of being able to pass on knowledge and receive knowledge, which was, I think for me, that's what music's about. It's this perpetual idea of passing around an idea or a thought.
You've had an amazing career. It's only just beginning. You were the first saxophonist in the final BBC Young Musician of the Year back in 2016. You've since released 2 #1 albums in the classical charts, which is incredible. You're only 22. What else is going on in your life?
I've been lucky enough to perform at some live concerts recently in Germany and in the UK, which has felt like the biggest gift of all, to be able to play to an audience and feel that energy again. And I've been recording and also working on a virtual orchestra to try and bring people together online and give them the music making experience virtually.
So what else is on the Jess Gillam bucket list?
For me, it's about inspiring people. So to inspire as many young people as possible to not necessarily play music, although that would be a bonus, but to listen to and appreciate music and what it can do for us. So it's to really try and spread joy through that as much as I can.
And I know you've been helping AYM in lots of ways recently.
Recently I've been doing some workshops for AYM on Zoom, online, and we had a group of about 5 or 6 players each time, and they would play and we would talk about it and try and recreate the idea of having an audience and playing to other people. And then I've also been helping out generally wherever I can, whether it be helping with fundraising, or I did a fundraising concert last year. Anywhere I can help AYM, I just really want to, because it's such an important charity that gives children and young people the opportunity to learn from something so powerful like music, and so it's vital that it's well funded.
Well, Jess, you're a fantastic ambassador for music and for AYM. I'm delighted to have you as a fellow patron, and I know that AYM are enormously proud of you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
And now music from Hertfordshire. Kayla Nickel was one of 5 AYM violinists to take part in a series of online masterclasses with AYM patron Thomas Gould back in the spring lockdown. You can read more about this and a host of other inspiring stories on the AYM website.
We're going to play the first movement of Tchaikovsky's Violin.
This year has been challenging for all young musicians. More advanced players like our award winners have had critical exams, auditions and performances cancelled. Musicians at an earlier point in their musical journeys, like those supported by our Furthering Talent programme, have been affected just as their progression was starting to gain momentum. Thanks to youth music and other generous funders, we're currently working with 350 young people via Furthering Talent across 15 regions of England: Bournemouth, Brighton and Hove, Greater Manchester, Hull, Leicestershire, Lewisham, Liverpool, Manchester City, the North West Midlands, Nottinghamshire, Sheffield, Sunderland, Wiltshire and Worcestershire. Nearly 2,000 Furthering Talent instrumental lessons were moved online during the spring lockdown, and our fantastic local coordinators worked tirelessly to support families and create exciting online opportunities. We'd now like to show you a short film giving an overview of some of the ways we've been supporting young musicians online this year.
Hello Fairlight, my name's James and I'm a composer. I'm going to need your help for my latest commission.
So I think we should start with introducing ourselves and say, if you like, where you are. I presume you're all at home. Does anybody have any final questions before we finish? Oh, Amelia?
Do you like my shirt?
I love your shirt. Who likes Amelia's shirt?
Because it's kind of reminded me that I do love playing the violin, and there's nothing really more important to me than that.
So over to you, Hugh.
Hello, I'm Hugh Nankyville. It's really nice to be back in Sunderland.
Hello, my name's Andy Hatherley and I coordinate the Furthering Talent programme here in Nottinghamshire. And our students are taking part in the Upload Festival.
It's not scary if you've done your work, if you've studied, if you're open and honest. And if you just make music, just do what you do with commitment and do it in the way that you want to do it.
Hello, my name's Raimi. I'm 10 years old. I live in London and I play the piano, flute and other instruments such as a charango, like a mini ukulele. I hope that soon enough the coronavirus will go and that we'll all be able to do what we used to do. Work, go to school, go outside, go to each other's houses and just be normal again.
Our award winners are now helping to design our 2021 Annual Awards Day in partnership with the BBC, when we'll be collaborating online with an exciting team of musicians, composers and producers. You'll find out more about that nearer the time. But now, time for more music, I think. And we're off to Devon to meet the trumpeter, Megan Newbury.
AYM has been a great support to my musical journey over the last 3 years. In 2017, I was very grateful to be awarded funding towards buying my own cornet, which I'll be playing for you today. Before having my own instrument, I borrowed one from my local brass band. Having my own has allowed me to broaden my music making, play on a better quality cornet, and have the freedom to play in more ensembles. Another opportunity that AYM have provided me with is playing in the National Youth Brass Band of Great Britain. In 2019, I attended my first courses, both of which were a week long. During the weeks, I was lucky enough to be tutored by some of the world's best brass band and musicians, and from that I have later had private lessons with some of my biggest musical inspirations. This year, although the course couldn't go ahead physically due to the current situation, a virtual course was organised. Throughout the course we had sectional rehearsals, masterclasses and recorded parts individually at home, which we sent off to be put together as a full band piece. Being part of the National Youth Brass Band has provided me with many opportunities, and I'd like to thank AYM for supporting me with this. Furthermore, AYM have organised some brilliant awards days, and I've been really lucky to attend 2 of them. The first was a day with members of the Halle Orchestra at the Royal Northern College of Music in 2017, and the second was in 2019 at the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire of Music, where we spent the day with the Birmingham Contemporary Music Group. Both days were contrasting, and it was really good to play different styles of music to those that I'm used to. Also, in 2018, I was lucky enough to play at one of AYM's concerts in a private home in London, and it was a fantastic evening. I'm currently studying A-level music at Exeter College, and I hope to study music full-time at a conservatoire after I finish my A-levels in 2022.
I'm going to be playing for you Concert Etude by Alexander Goedicke.
So that's quite enough from me for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. The final stop on our musical journey is Kent to meet the cellist Oliver Moe. He's playing Saint-Saëns' The Swan. And after Oliver's performance, Jess Gillam will be chatting with Oliver's mother, Katie.
Hello, Katie. It's so nice to see you, and thank you for talking to me. I remember meeting Oliver last year at a workshop that I was doing at King's Place, and I was so struck by his passion for music and his dedication to music that was so evident in his being, but also in his playing. And I just wondered, what does music mean to him? Where does his passion come from?
I don't know. I don't know where it comes from, but I know he has a very deep connection to music, I guess. He's been around it all his life actually, because I have an older daughter, Maya, and I guess maybe with her rehearsals and concerts and stuff, he's just been surrounded by music. But he seems to have a really deep connection with it. Like he couldn't be without his cello. He's so connected to it. And I guess, yeah, he has a teacher that allows him to play what he wants to play. So maybe that also makes it more interesting for him. He, yeah, it's yeah, a very deep connection, I think.
Well, for all of us, music is this deep form of expression, and we're able to communicate in ways that we wouldn't be able to through speech. But do you find with Oliver that it kind of improves his communication generally, playing music?
Yeah, I think it does. Like he's naturally very shy, and he's never one to sort of like speak up or speak out or I guess with words. But when it comes to his music, he seems really comfortable and very, I guess maybe it's easier for him to do it through music, I think, than to explain or use words. It's giving him a confidence that I don't think he has or he had naturally.
I remember seeing him play, and we were in the workshop at King's Place. Everybody was playing and going around, and Oliver was very shy when you had to talk. And then as soon as he got behind his cello, that was him. That was his personality, and that was the way that he communicated and expressed. And it was amazing to see.
He seems to have tapped into something quite young at a young age. I think maybe I'm not a musician, so I don't know, but I just know that from a very early age, he just wanted to play.
AYM have been supporting Oliver for 3 years, even though he's only 9. In what way have AYM helped his development and helped your family?
They paid for Oliver's lessons with Boj, like all of them. So like we met Boj quite early. I think when Oliver was 7, he started lessons with Boj, and yeah, so that was all AYM, because there's no way we would have done it without AYM support.
And you have a daughter too. Your daughter Maya is also supported by AYM. And how is it to kind of manage the 2 children learning music? They're both at different stages in their musical journeys. How is that for you?
It's tricky. It's tricky to sort of manage because obviously they are different ages. One is a teenager with all the teenage things that come with that, and she has sort of like all the different orchestras that she would do, so like NCO, or so it's a lot of travel with her. And I'm a single parent, so I have Oliver with me all the time, so he would make the 13-hour journey to drop her off somewhere on a 13 or whatever. It's just those kinds of trips which he would come to. And and I guess the other way around as well. So like if he has a lesson, then I'd have to make sure that she's doing something as well. It's tricky. It's like juggling balls all the time, so trying not to drop one.
It's an all-consuming thing, isn't it? It kind of, as soon as you have a child doing music or you're doing music, your life kind of becomes consumed by it in the most beautiful way. But I can imagine, I've been at the lucky end of that, being the child and having amazing supportive parents who drove me, but I can only imagine that as a parent it must be extremely tiring. Do the 2 get on well, or are they competitive, or do they play together? Do they support each other?
I think it goes in roundabouts. Like sometimes they're like typical, I guess, brother and sister. They have, they're at each other's throats, and then sometimes they can be quite supportive. Like they'll learn a piece together or they'll play together, which is nice. They do support each other when they need to. Like yesterday, I think Oliver is doing his grade 8 exam, so the oral is quite tricky for him, and Maya did hers a few weeks earlier. So she's sort of like helping him with the oral, which is great because I'm tone deaf and can't help at all.
And does Oliver have any aspirations or dreams with his cello, or does he just love playing and he plays for the day and the moment?
No, I think he wants to be a cellist. He's made that very clear to me, that he'd like to be a cellist like Sheku and travel all over the world. I'm like, no pressure there then, But yeah, he definitely, he says, either a cellist or a mathematician.
Wow. I'm sure he could be either. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, and it was amazing to see Oliver play, and I hope that things aren't too difficult while you're in lockdown and people aren't able to play together, but thank you so much.
Oh, no worries. It's lovely chatting to you and seeing you, and thank you very much for talking to me.
Hello, I'm Hester Cockcroft, AYM's Chief Executive. I hope you've enjoyed hearing our young musicians play. There are still 2 more to hear from. Their musical success, even in such a challenging year, is possible thanks to our supporters. Our many fantastic trusts and foundations, our generous public funders, and our wonderful donors. Your help enables AYM to exist. Thank you for giving talent a chance. We'll soon be supporting 700 talented young people across the UK with vital funding and other support for their music making. And by this time next year, with your support, we'll also be helping thousands more set their own musical goals with their teachers through an online partnership with music education platform Turanga. There are so many more talented children whom we're not yet able to reach or to help. The Musicians' Union reports that families on lower incomes, earning under £28,000 a year, are half as likely to have a child learning an instrument as families with higher incomes. They're also more likely to be self-taught and so miss out on expert music teaching. The average gross family income of the young people we help is under £20,000 per year, and so without our assistance, their musical chances and choices may be very, very limited. The National Foundation for Youth Music reports that COVID-19 has only exacerbated this situation. As they put it, unequal access has been made even worse. AYM has never had an office in all its 22 years. We've always worked from home and online. Not only does that make us very efficient, it means we have been able to quickly adapt to this extraordinary year and even increase our support for young people to make sure they get all the help they need, particularly now. Unfulfilled potential is not only a loss to the individual young person, but to the whole of society. We don't think it's right that only some young musicians are currently able to make the most of their potential, whilst others can't because the costs are simply too high for them. So if you can help us, that would be great. Next week sees the start of the Big Give Christmas Challenge 2020, the UK's largest match funding campaign. AYM has taken part every year since 2011. So if you're able to donate between 12 noon on Tuesday the 1st of December and 12 noon on Tuesday the 8th of December, your donation can be doubled. With your help, we want to raise at least £60,000. Please fill in the pledge form. Just click on the Big Give link below and we'll get in touch to tell you more about how to donate. Or you might want to set up a regular gift. For example, you can join our host of angels who donate from £84 a month to support all our programmes. Set up your donation or find out more about AYM Angels via the links below. You can join our mailing list there too. Your time and your contacts are also hugely valuable to us. Please do help spread the word by telling others about our work. Well, we've nearly reached the end of tonight's event. Thank you so much for joining us. We'd like to dedicate this concert to Henry Mackenzie Johnson, who died last month at the age of 99. Henry was a great lover of music, and thanks to his personal generosity and that of his family, who in 2016 established the Henry Mackenzie Johnson Awards for Scottish young musicians in his honour, many young people have been enabled to reach their musical goals. You'll shortly hear 15-year-old bagpiper Kyle Cameron from Rossshire play The Brown-Haired Maid. Kyle is one of the 2020 Henry Mackenzie Johnson Award winners. And last but by no means least, Caris Jones will play us out with La Source by Alphonse Hasselmans. She's a 12-year-old harpist from Carmarthenshire in Wales. Thank you again for joining us. We hope to see you in person soon.